Hello, boys and girls. Hopefully everything's working. Hi, Vega. I'm looking at your DMs now. What is... Alright, you said not all the thrusters are quite symmetrical. What's not symmetrical about them? Let me save this and I'll open up. Let me save. This is the what I call the core section. I think I've got it bolted and cabled. Let me jump in the live chat too, since you're... Oh, you're in the live chat already. You beat me in there. You're muted though.
I know.
Yeah, just in case. Alright, let me open up the open, what do we call it, mechanicals. This is my latest version, so this should be what you have.
Symmetrical referred to basically there's like the thrusters on the bottom of the box, then there was a 12 centimeter gap.
There was the thrusters on the bottom of the box. Hold on, I'm trying to get back to you.
Yes, the thrusters at the bottom.
Okay.
If you look at them, you will see a gap of 12 centimeters since the bottom left corner if you look for forwards.
If I'm looking...
Yes, that is that.
Right here?
A little to the right.
Right, oh, right there?
Yeah,
yeah.
that transitional.
That, yeah, this thing here. Oh yeah, fix that. Is that the only place?
So far.
Okay, yeah. That shouldn't be there.
The next thing is the offset here by 12, which I'll just make the top and bottom the same.
Yeah, they should be. I mean, ideally they're the same.
Okay.
That makes the most, do I have a different offset top and bottom?
Yes, on the top, the box thrusters are set backwards, and on the bottom they are set forwards.
The bottom. Let me see. There's a... So I moved some of them forwards.
Look from the bottom, it's most obvious there.
I was trying to look at the trails. So I want the trails to be as far forward. Oh, I see, yeah. Oh, why are those hitting those thrusters? Something's wrong.
Well,
Oh, wow. Something is very wrong.
okay, so
I've got a vertical shift somewhere. Oh, when I move those...
yeah, that's do you need me to fix that as well?
Well, otherwise it's gonna burn. Well, I mean, you were just supposed to bolt it. You weren't supposed to have to do shenanigans with it.
Look, I was. You might have seen in the image already. We're kind of one section because it's the.
How did that?
It's easier if I have everything as a module, because then I only need to bolt way less.
Yeah, well, that's so. There's they. Yeah, I mean there's. If you split it down the middle, then you get two matching modules left to right. But how did I shift them?
Probably your angled beams. Yeah.
No, well, no, because they were perfect. But then when I was talking with Pegrin yesterday, I moved. No, it couldn't have been then. Something is off-centered now, and I don't know what it is. The forward thrusters have moved up or down a little bit. They're no longer in the center, so...
Probably should not have taken off the rear thruster boost magnet tool on. Oh.
So, yeah, see these rear thrusters, this gap in the rear thrusters should be in this gap between... I've somehow moved them all down. See what I mean? They've all shifted down. Oh, I don't know, 48 centimeters. How the hell did I do that?
Well, in the middle, it's not lined up with the center of the plate or that other beam between the two things. thinking what.
Let's see. All right, let me find all my connection points. Where did I? Oh yeah, see there's.
Continue the aesthetics like it was done on the.
So that's a connection point. That's. Well, oh shit. I'm assuming you've done a bunch of bolting, or so that whole
Yeah, I
that whole
bolted like one of the outriggers already.
yeah. So one of the this whole back section, I just have to select it all and move it up. Because if you let me look in here, if I can show you where.
Also, that
So
section might have a few more hard points now.
so see this. I don't know if you're looking at the gap, and if you're looking at my screen, Vega, let me stream it so
Yeah.
you're not. There's no lag.
I know there's a 24 centimeter gap here.
Right, there's a gap in between these two, but it should align. This 24 centimeter gap should align with this beam, and
Yeah,
I've shifted.
obviously. That
Yes, I've
if you
somehow
wouldn't have told me anything, I would have just took it back and was like, no, that's not right, and have aligned it.
Yeah, it's just all you have to do is select them, and this cross beam that has this angle on the end of it, because there's they don't quite meet up, and that just gives more surface area. Should be in the center, in that 24 centimeter gap. So it's not a hard fix, but if you want to do it
I'll
while
fix it.
you're at some point, I must have shifted them because I did some moving. Remember, because they were off center. I'm just gonna tell you, this is the part of shipbuilding that sucks, is getting everything symmetrical. But somehow I thought I had it, and I didn't. But I know at one point I did, but when I moved that entire back. So this is what happened was I copied one of these outriggers. So I only built one of them, but I didn't make a module out of it, and I should have. And I copied it, and then slid it over, and then moved it around. And at some point I just... Hello, Brainless, by the way. I did not miss your message. At some point I got them off by a little bit. But, yeah, that's one of the things that I will do better in the future, is a better use of modules and making things like, in theory you should be able to just rotate these things, but I didn't build them quite.
But they're kind of mirrored top to bottom.
They should be mirrored top to bottom and left to right.
Yes.
But the mirroring is what kind of screws it up. So you have to build an entire right section, and then you can rotate it.
Right and left section, then you can rotate it top to bottom.
Or the other way around. If you just did left and right, you could rotate it. But
yeah.
I should have. Being that the way that I designed it was without any frames, and then I kind of came back and put the frames in. I should have taken the thrusters, like 3/4 of the thrusters off, or half of the thrusters off, and mirrored it, and I didn't. And now we're paying for that. But last night, after we got off the stream, I went through and worked on the crate pod. So now this is bolted. Now this is bolted. I still have to do a few changes to get it. I haven't. I don't have it cabled yet, so we're gonna go ahead and turn it around and cable it. Did I put that back in the right spot? Not quite. Goes like there. And then we need to replace this with just a most places, it's a beam. I don't want plates, I want beams. Straight beam, 24. So most of these get... Nope.
Oh. Yes, right. Physics.
What's up?
I was like wanting to move the triangle back, like why is it not letting me? Probably because there's a hard point in the way.
Yeah, two objects can occupy the same space at the same time.
With Starbase, there's
Yeah,
reasonable amount.
sometimes they can. All right, so now we're going to run 192. Hopefully this will fit without too much shenanigans. Not there. So
Thinking about how to make this. Because the thing is, I'm replacing kind of all the thrusters.
you're kind of replacing all the
Well,
thrusters.
it's easier to just rip out the thrusters, put new ones in, than to actually put bolts in all of them.
Oh, yeah. You
Because
just...
I pre-bolted one and just copied it everywhere.
Yep, that makes sense. Yep. That's the reason I didn't want to do that. 100% the reason I didn't want to do that.
Yeah, he's not.
I mean, I got as last evening went on, it got a little less tedious, but I mean only minorly.
Is that not off?
All right, so if we grab all these,
Crazy.
and we'll auto bolt those.
Damage would like to know your location. Just kidding.
all I auto bolted was some ductwork, so.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, do you have any specific opinions on spaghetti ducting?
You mean just wherever?
No, it's you put them at non-norm standard locations because because mostly you wanted to get to the place to connect the two things efficient quickly.
You'll have to give me examples. I don't know.
If you want to see the stream, here's what I mean with spaghetti ducting.
All right, let me pull up the stream live. Switch to Discord. Watch stream and full screen. Oh, yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was worried that you'd think it looked too ugly.
No, I mean that seems to be efficient
Also,
use. I was thinking
yeah.
more spaghetti cabling where it looked like spaghetti. No, that's no, that kind of ducting I'm fine with. Some of the there's some
duct continuity across like all these beam segments.
Yeah, that works good.
Like that one's not bolted. Bolted properly. Better.
Yep, that looks fine. Yeah, that kind of ducting is fine with me.
Okay. This is just gonna. Yeah, I guess it's just gonna stick out.
Okay, so this, in all theory, should have those crates now ducted. All the crates connect to each other. Everything is bolted. It shows no frame because there's no thruster, but I need to... Ooh, helicopters nearby. And alright, let me minimize his stream. Avatar. Did you see the big announcements from Twitch today? They're changing how you're no longer allowed to third-party advertise within your stream. So like I couldn't, if I had any sponsors, I couldn't manually advertise for them within my own stream. I couldn't promote products without using Twitch's advertising platform. No, I don't. I saw a sign on the door for Endo Loaf and Jug. Endo Loaf and Jug. Oh, I don't get that one. Endo Loaf and Jug. And hello, Sasquatch.
I just think the game already plays it, but no, it didn't.
Okay.
Scrolling back.
So we should be able to now. Oh, Loaf and Jug is as a gas station. Oh no, I did not know Loaf and Jug. Yeah, Loaf and Jug. I've never heard of that, and I've lived over a big chunk of the U.S. Well, a big chunk of this north central U.S. I'm gonna have to look that up. It's an interesting name of a business. Loaf and Jug. Oh, it's even apostrophed. And it's owned by Kroger's. Circle K, 7-Eleven. Yeah, we got those. Sheets. Marathon, Speedway, Flying J. But Loaf and Jug is funny because there's always a thing where I grew up about anytime the weather's going to get bad, you got to go buy bread and milk. I'm not sure what you're going to do with those two things during a storm, but you got to have bread and milk. Alright, so we should... Oh, I don't know if I saved it as a module. So, yes. Hold on, we gotta wait for it to save. File, open. I think it's labeled as fuselage, which is a terrible term for this thing. Turn this off. Select all.
Doing business like that. Because I could have sold you the fixing of the frames as an optional extra.
So we're going to delete all that. We're going to delete this module, modular core. We're going to create and save again as the same name. So then I have a module. Now we can... Alright, so now we have that. File save. Oh, I should have just done it the other way, but too bad. Should have just imported the pod into here instead of the other way around. But now we have a core. These two things, we should be able to just... Oh, this is highlighted, so... That and that. We stick those together. And then we stick... Can we invert the selection?
Yes, you can.
Selection toggle. Toggle everything. Okay. And then we turn this around. Should then be able to...
I actually never used that.
First time I've ever used it.
That's more than I use it.
So, and then we weld all this together. Yep, ship strength 1.4 empty. We're gonna add, so at max mass, just so you know, is different than...
Yes, I know.
Than the other one, and then apply to all.
I probably even learned that the hard way. Actually, no, I didn't have to learn it the hard way.
So I've been trying to make sure that I've got everything bolted, kind of. Once I stick mass in it, what is the... It's so funny how one side will be will be red and the other side won't. It probably has to do with your bolting left to right.
Yeah, I like that. I'm trying to keep everything bold. Yeah, I'm trying to keep everything.
So even with the red beams, which that's only if the entire ship is full of Lucium. Oh, I know what I did here to fix this. I did it on the top. I didn't do it on the bottom, and I need to. See, this is why we.
Is that actually?
So on the top here, it has to do with the number of connection points. So this little beam connects all that stuff together better. But I don't know what's here at the bottom. Why this doesn't...
Hope the issue with not sufficient interconnection solves itself, maybe, hopefully.
Well, I mean, I will, you get it bolted and I'll come back and go through with the, I'm sure there's going to be red beams and stuff where things just need to be framed a little
Sometimes
differently.
red beams are actually just because Starbase likes to control sometimes.
So how do I, probably can add, there's a lot of stress in that one beam, and some of that is from the fact that there's no back half of the ship on here. So what we're going to do is we're going to file, we're going to undo here for a little bit, because I like that the ship is in big chunks though, and I can just keep adding them back together.
Keep sending them off to other people to
Well, as long as you agreed to it, don't complain.
I'm not complaining. I actually yeah.
We're gonna make sure this is all welded.
I would have been complaining if I actually charged the rate that was at first suggested.
Just so you're happy with the rate, that's all that matters. All right. We're gonna delete this module. I'm not afraid to delete the modules because I'm gonna detach because everything is saved by itself. 100 crates. All right, now we're gonna go back to now we're gonna open fuselage again because I saw I need to add that beam in. We need a beam, corner beam, this one. Come on, where are you? There you are. You need to go there, and then a matching one on the other side. Weld everything. I've managed to get away with only using like 4 weld blocks though thus far. And those were just for some plates that are in a spot you just really can't get any bolts in them. So they're kind of minor to begin with. Alright, so I guess I could technically we can the cockpit is the next section, but let's go ahead. We need to save this again. Select all. Hold on. Modular core. We're gonna delete this again. We made some changes. Each time I make changes, I save the new module.
So why is your autosave number like higher than mine?
It saves probably more often than yours.
I set mine to like 5 minutes.
Yeah, mine was at 5 minutes until yesterday, and I wanted it to save, so it's probably shorter, and I can.
Probably one.
But it doesn't save like that many. It just keeps saving them more often. Like there's still only a flat number that it saves. Like in my file.
Yes, but that would still mean that if you set it to 1 minute, I have it at 5 minutes. That you spent actually.
I fell asleep last night and this just stayed on. So This is
Let's say Zero and I spent like 75% of my time in the SSC. And then divide that by 5 would mean that you'd spend 300 hours in the SSC at 1 minute saving, which does not sound correct.
it does not sound correct at all. Oh, I know why it is. Somebody sent me a save the other day that had a save number that was way above mine. And I didn't.
Was it 11769?
It was something like that, yeah.
Because I sent you a save the other day.
And I just dropped it in because it was.
You didn't bother changing. Oh, and that's why your odd saves at this.
Right, it just started counting at that point.
I should have warned you, I guess.
I don't care. I mean, at some point you could just.
You look like someone who actually likes the SSC.
Well, when I'm done, I'll just save them. I'll delete all but one and save it as number 1. Ship number 1.
That's why a lot of people actually write 1.fbe. I just didn't bother.
High damage. Alright, so this is now bolted, so now we should be able to take this thing. What is that? And why is there 2? Why are there 2 module buttons in the middle there? I don't like that.
That's
Oh, I think it's because I saved it as a module but didn't detach it. I'll have to fix that. That's not the end of the world.
You know what's that might actually be hilarious.
So that's what the core looks like with 800. And then if we stick modular crates on it, what orientation are they in? That looks right. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll attach these. Vega is a bit quiet today.
Well, I'm bolting.
That's all right. I can turn him up.
Well, we can also just get close to the mic.
Well, then I have to turn you back down.
Hell yes.
Do you still have your microphone on a headset stand in front of you?
No. No, it's one of those like cheap microphones that have like this bendy arm thingy.
The bendy arm thingy.
Yeah, the one you just bend into shape, you know, like it's basically a headset microphone but on a stand.
Oh. I gotcha. Alright, you go. Why are you not fitting?
I need to put the...
Yeah, that's where you go. And you just fit on there a minute ago. Are you hitting something I'm unaware of? Yeah, shouldn't.
No.
Oh, I wonder if it's hitting one of these other pods. That's the problem. That's the yeah. That's.
I'm not gonna stir step beam on a customer ship. Not yet.
Let's get rid of these. Now we'll. It was running into one of those. Like, I know this works. I just did it a minute ago. Now you should go right. Yeah, you go right there. What is that bullshit? Oh. I don't get the little... I swear it happens. I swear beams move.
No.
Little tiny bits, all on their own.
If a mind of their own.
Condenser mic end up eating XLR to USB, so I go cheap. XLR. Oh.
Most microphones are condenser / electret, so yeah.
I just use the one that's on my headset.
Well, I stopped using headset after I started dropping them the entire time.
Dropping them?
Well, you know, you get up because someone calls you, and then headset falls down and eventually they break.
Oh, yeah, no, that. I just hook it on the desk.
Let's see if I can use this module and just try and bolt it.
Yeah, I don't. I use a wireless headset and then just don't drop it.
Look, it's like all the groups, but none of them were visible to me.
So this headset mic isn't terrible. It's just a pretty standard run-of-the-mill microphone. It's just it's from Corsair, but it's not like a high-end Corsair. I just like their products. But it was wireless, which I wanted, because I will end up standing up and then trying to walk away, and it'll rip the. This will be the original purpose was just to get me in the SSC, but it's just a hauler. It's nothing special. Now that's upside down, isn't it? Yeah. Should have.
I'm just not gonna question the fact that this bolted the thruster with durability with 2 bolts.
Just so the durability works.
Yeah, let's hope it's not as big of an issue as I think to get 1.1, or that as it makes it look like, because currently it's like 1.045.
Alright, so there's this. This is with everything bolted and ducted. Now, I'm very little. Arcanus' hauler, that's the Giller. That's the. This is just an exercise in the SSC. This was never even meant to be a ship seriously. This was just an SSC exercise. Now I haven't touched this front part yet. I haven't done any of the bolting or cabling in that at all. So I'm just trying to put it together. And then I don't know if I like the red bands around the middle, but
There's almost an Ace-Tech vibe.
once you accept 1,000 crates, yeah, I have a hauler that's 1,248 crates. So I don't know if I would ever actually use this.
Well, you know, sometimes the ship just needs to be fun.
Yeah, this was just to get me in the SSC. Yeah, I have 1,248 crates. That works pretty well. So this is just a thought experiment more than anything. And then it started to look cool, so.
And now yeah.
Oh, that's not it.
One thing led to another, and we're now actually trying to build a ship.
Oh, I must not have that as a module.
Oh yes, of course. That's the.
It's a what? Yeah. Oh, I have the rear thruster. I apparently do have the rear thruster part as a module. But just the part that I
Okay, why is he?
I apparently.
Because it did the beams before.
Oh, there it is. Thruster 364. That's the one. That's the wall. It's an older version, but it'll work for this experiment. It's very slow to rotate. Come on.
Just did I give it? I gave it.
Oh, come
Some.
on. Rotate the way I want it to rotate. It never under. Oh, I just screwed that up again. It's a very slow rotator.
Yeah, I'll just bolt the other side and copy it to the bottom. That seems like the easiest solution.
Okay, stop rotate. Ah.
You'll never know.
As long as it looks like it was done by a professional.
Well, argue. Well, you know. Oh, that's the standard time bit. You
Yeah.
could have told me that a little earlier.
That was the standard. Yeah, that's the standard. I want it to not look like nobody did it. It's supposed to look nice. Alright. Oh, I think I have to add a couple of beams to this. Hold on a sec. Straight beam. I have to add 48 centimeters here to make this work. Come on, where's my beam? Turn. Snap in place. And the center of that should go on the center of this. And it should just click in place. Oh, I forgot. We're gonna get rid of these two couple beams. That module's not a great module. Not a perfect module, that's for sure. Come on. Damn it. You told someone bad directions today and you feel horrible. Yeah? It might be funny depending on where your directions told them. As long as they didn't end up in like downtown Detroit, it's fine. Damn you, what is the... Oh, because I didn't undo that again. My dad's like that. He's the directions guy and he gets upset if he doesn't know directions to get where you need to go. Please tell me you're staying. Yeah. Oh. Well, then that's no big deal. I don't know what all those crazy module buttons are for, but...
What did I... Oh no. How did I mess that one up?
Alright, let's F5 it. See how she looks in space. Put that stupid tool away.
Come on, dude.
I think it's starting to look okay. And it's not going to fall apart if I just run into it. Last time I did this, just walking through the ship made the entire ship come apart. But we can blow it up. I think, well, I didn't have anything bolted, so every time you bump into something, the whole ship would kind of come apart. I also like blowing it up. I don't know why that's so much fun.
Because it doesn't cost you to blow it up. And also the impromptu structural durability stress test, I guess.
Since when does that not blow them up? There we go.
Because you hit the generator, and if it's too damaged, it won't blow up.
I don't know why I find that so fun.
That's why you always have to put fuel rods facing away from the direction you expect a bullet to impact.
I like how it just leaves a crater in the middle of that ship, but doesn't touch the cargo pods at all. Oh, I guess I wouldn't weld those frames together. So they're still coming apart. That's funny. I find that cathartic. Apply to all. It can take a little while here with the anything that's applied to all on this thing. Plus, I want to see the building budget.
Generally on good stuff, yeah. Or on old stuff, really.
Well, welding beams doesn't normally take too long. We're close to the voxel limit, but I actually am doing. I still have 70 million voxels. So depending on how much you add,
I tried to keep it as minimal as possible.
well, you shouldn't be adding millions and millions of voxels.
I'm not
but
adding anything really. I'm just.
Well, ducting has voxels to it, but.
Well, yes, but I'm trying to keep that within
Yeah.
limits.
Yeah.
You can always just delete a few hard points and that
Well,
an issue.
I don't think it'll be a huge issue. I mean, everything is almost as plated as it's going to be. Almost. Let's delete this module. Save the other one. And then we'll stick it on the newest one that has plating, but I don't think it's going to go up very far. Like, we might just pull this off voxel-wise.
Not good.
Where is the... That's the core. Where's the module for those? Are the thrusters, but where's the module for this big thing?
Actually, no, that does look fine.
It's gone.
Signals like that does not look quite right.
Let's get that out of there.
2, 1, oh. Oh.
Undo takes forever also when there's a lot of things.
What did I think with the amount of SSC, Starbase SSC I play, I'd be better at it.
It's just a miserable place to work. Come on, the SSC's like frozen.
The most fun part about the SSC is starting new projects.
Not finishing them?
Did I say finishing it? Well, kind of. It's both fun, but one's easier than the other.
Yeah, I like the just sticking stuff together and putting plates on it. This whole this whole let's see, where's the undo? Multi-user undo. This whole finishing it with the bolts and the
bolts isn't even the bad part. Systems is the bad part.
Create undo. Let's see if it'll undo those.
Yeah, that actually looks great.
We'll never be done. Yeah, I told myself I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get this to a point where set device field.
The only ship that is vaguely finished enough that I could release it, conceivably, is my fighter, and I can't release that one because it uses the HUD display.
Oh, the one that you don't want to share?
Well, it's not that I don't want to share, it's just that I'm waiting for Ace Crystal to share it before I can use, before it's the yeah.
Oh, that yeah, the Ace Crystal thing.
Yeah. That one. It's so cool.
They released the HUD publicly. I think they were going to. I don't think they have yet.
They're going to, but they hadn't. I haven't heard of them actually doing it yet.
I want to use it in here, but I don't know exactly where. But I was thinking about trying to work it in somewhere.
Actually, oh yeah, right. This is the precision bolting part. Really.
Okay, now it should be done. Control Z, delete that. Okay, now we should have this whole thing. And we'll weld this together this time.
Ah, that duct is upside. No one will ever know. But I will.
So, alright, weld all. Now we're gonna make a temporary module out of this. And then I want to go see what it looks like on the where we are. Sure. File, open, no. I want mechanicals. 1 day ago. Alright, so this is where I last left this part of the... Now I should be able to slap this temporary one on the front. Depending on how long it takes for it to pop in. And we'll see what orientation it comes in at. Is it gonna come in? Just too much for the paste function?
Well, I only once had something that was kind of too much for the paste function, but that was because I was doing weird stuff.
Huh? Why are you not? Oh, did it put it in somewhere? Come on, where are you? I think I screwed something up. Doesn't matter. Anyways, anywho, I need to work on the cockpit. I think I didn't. I swear I saved that as a module, but I must not have selected everything. I don't know.
Was building
Delete this
start or
module.
just getting everything you know,
Delete
to
this
not show
module.
bolts, to have bolts absolutely everywhere.
Yeah, it's a bit of a. I'm gonna see rear thrust. Well, some of these modules are my old modules. We can get rid of mechanicals. Yeah, we don't need this one anymore. That's just the center one.
Okay, now I'm just gonna
Frame
copy
wall.
the top section to the bottom, and this will
Oh, that's so
hopefully be easy.
simple. 100 crate pod. Delete. That's the old one. Alright. Alright, file. Open. Cockpit is the next thing I have to bolt and pipe.
Okay, let's get my ruler out just to make sure I select correctly.
So none of this is bolted. And we want to hide the bolts as much as we can. So a lot of it gets done from the outside. So let's, yeah, all the beams are welded. First thing we're going to do is hide the plates. And we'll bolt like all these. Alright, we need to take all the old bolts out. Select. Bolts. Delete. Alright, because I have no idea what was bolted and what wasn't. I do want to select machinery, which is just the thrusters, and they're not very many, and we will auto bolt the thrusters. It's a little bit extra, but not the end of the world.
Wait, so he's auto bolting thrusters, so he's taking it. Just kidding.
Hold on. I want to hide the hard points and lock those. And hide the windows and lock those.
Why are you having
That way it doesn't bolt stuff to hard points.
Not strong enough. Ensure sufficient. It quit whining, Starbase.
But yeah, I just want the internal part of the... And I also don't need it to the beams. I just want... I'll do that again. I need to hide the beams too. I just want the thrusters to bolt themselves internally.
Oh, just the top of so many more problems in the bottom.
It's still... Oh, bolted to plates? They're locked though. Why is it bolting to plates? It's still bolted to the hard points and the... Devices, furnishing, machinery, decorative plates. I was hoping they would not bolt to out, through this stuff. It's just supposed to bolt. Like it's still bolted to the frames, to the beams, even though it, I guess I'll just have to live with that. Or I'll take them out and we still want to hide the plates. Lock them. Because I bolt them differently. Just want the internal bolts, that's all. I don't want these... Bolting it to the beam is fine. I don't want them to the hard points. I go the other way from the hard points, which the hard points don't really matter, but I don't want to bolt to plates.
I don't understand this.
They can bolt to each other. What are we doing in here?
So everything is fine except this part where it just says no.
It just says no.
Well, if you want to see the strip, you can clearly see what it says. The frame appears to be not equalized correctly.
Oh, there's...
That it's a little red.
But why? What's different?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking myself as well. Because like from the back, it's actually all correctly.
Yeah, it looks correct.
Material's correct.
Oh, did you? Yeah, you added vertical ones to...
Oh yeah, it has some more hard points.
Yeah.
Like I said.
All the hard points?
Every thruster pairs its own hard point. For an additional million, I'll also name all the thruster. Yeah, just kidding.
I wonder why it doesn't like that section.
Yeah, I haven't figured it. Tried.
I can mess around with it. Okay.
It's probably gonna be fine. Like, okay, just beam stress just through the roof.
Oh, is that what it is? Beam stress?
I assume because like look at it. Like it actually it even has beam stress. Yeah, because I rotated it that way, this must be the...
Alright. What about these guys up here? Yep, take these bolts out.
Okay, so these...
I think Senki was on last night if you guys pay attention to him. He was in the SSC last night. I haven't seen him on in ages.
There you go.
So we should be able to bolt now. And then let's see, we sneak down under here. Whoop. And then we look down. Reverse it. Alright, now we do the other side. Same thing. And down.
Okay. On a side note, this is the first time I actually had to deal with equalizing beam stress.
Yeah? Why is that?
How's that? Well, because
Of all the ships you've made, you've never had to equalize beam stress before?
well, kind of the second time, I guess. Because that's not normally a thing I do, because normally I'm not cutting it that close with the beams.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. I just made this up as I went along, so I don't know about beam. I don't know the proper way to beam in order to minimize beam stress.
Well, apparently there are some
Oh,
nuance
that's...
about rotating it correctly,
So I will
which I
have
think is
to...
nonsense.
So something... So that's how I beam... I still have to get something... a beam here to support these.
So this one is corner to corner, this one is... Let's try rotating it 9 degrees.
So I'll have to... because I don't have any bolts on these outside thrusters, so I will need something a little different. And I don't have much space, so it's got to be on the outside here, so...
That one is...
What can I do? What can I do? Well, it's going to be a beam, so let's see what beams fit in here. What? Something's not in the right space there. Oh yeah, look at all that. It's missing a beam here, that's why. Oh no, there's just slid some way weirdly. Yeah, I am missing... Those are aligned. I see why those kind of have to be there. And we need a secondary beam in here. I don't know why it's missing. Oh, I see why it's missing, because I had to put beams this way, so now I need a cross beam in here. Do I have enough space there? I thought I should.
Close corner to close corner, this one is...
Oh, something's still locked. That's what the problem is. Take this outside plating off. Put stuff where it's gotta go.
Actually, no, that was it.
So maybe I just have to do something different with all of this plating. Let's just do that. It's the cockpit can have different plating. Anyway, we'll make it. Just kind of sad because I remember putting all that plating in and it sucked. But there's a lot of little pieces there anyways, which are a pain in the ass to bolt. So we'll get rid of this stuff. Oh, I like the feel of it. It's with the beaming we've got here, it's not working. So alright, what beaming do we got? What beaming do we have and what beaming do we need? So we're gonna slide this one up.
Look,
That.
just
Oh, that's already lined up. Didn't look lined up to me.
just try to not worry about it too much and hope it's gonna be fine.
Well, yeah, you're just supposed to be bolting. I don't. I didn't even think about beam stresses because it doesn't show them until
Well,
you start
the
bolting
issues
stuff.
I kind of reworked it all, and now it has beam stress issues. Might have had them before, but now it definitely has them.
All right, that's all right. All right, so that should give me a place to bolt this stuff. All right, let's weld. Now I definitely can bolt these guys together. You in the right spot? No! That's why I can't bolt you. Come on, move over. C.
And yeah, no, having someone send you blueprint ridiculous odd safe number sounds about right. And, I never considered that Starbase actually just does that.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll figure it all out.
Nick, did you modelize this intersection? No, you didn't.
No. I didn't modularize anything over there. I didn't know what I was doing.
No, exactly. Did it delete? That's. Oh no, yeah, just deleted before. Okay, then it's fine. Well, it's not, but. I don't know why the plates are weird with that.
I think we're off center there.
Starbase. The plate there. Quit complaining. Oh. Like, why can't I fit it there? Probably because there's a beam corner in there.
Okay, let's see. Move these over tight. Now each one of these is touching two, so there shouldn't be too many stresses here to worry about, but let's see. This is where we're mounting thrusters, so it might become an issue later. Okay, those at least have bolts in them now, so we have to do the same thing off the bottom, which means deleting more of these. Turn that tool off. Gonna delete all this stuff. And then I'll have to come up with some sort of different cool plating in there. Not the end of the world. And you as well. Okay. There's that. And then I should be able to take this thing. Nope. Move it out of the way. Alright, and turn snapping back on. See if you'll snap anywhere near where you were supposed to be. Alright, somewhere there. That looks good. Looks good, looks good, looks good.
Actually, yeah, it kind of makes sense that the beams would be complaining here because, oh boy, the load transfer.
Yeah, I'll have to figure out how to support everything that needs supported.
Well, I think it'll be supported just fine once it connected to the center section.
Yeah, once it gets all... That's kind of what I was thinking on a lot of the stresses, is that the ship isn't whole. So it's trying to figure out how the stress is going to be applied when there's big chunks of the ship missing. And it's not liking that. Alright, so now we weld everything, and then we stick our bolts. We stick our bolts into this. 4, 1, 2, 2. Then what I'll do is once we're all done, I'll just pay damage a ton of money to fix the durability issues. I'll ask for a durability of like 300, and that'll cost all the rest of my money. Take him 6 months to do. Alright, so now we have those bolted.
Okay, that one's fine, listen. Yeah, that thruster section finally looks like it's together.
Good. Yep.
What? Of course I immediately forgot.
What?
No, where it actually needs to be attached in relation to that center section.
Yeah, I think that's how I got it off center. Is I moved it
I
away.
know it needs to be attached in relation just to know how far forward it was.
As close, as tight as you can fit it.
That's a poor choice of words.
Well, and it be okay.
It's getting there.
Mechanicals hide.
Oh wait a minute! I was so excited to put it together that I forgot to actually put like 4 thrusters on it.
Yeah, it gets pretty exciting to see what it's gonna look like when you're building something. You're like, I'm just gonna stick it together. That's how I ended up in this entire project, actually. It's like, I wonder what that looks like with this stuck to it, and what it looks like with that stuck to it.
Yeah, no.
And now we're
There's
800
like,
crates in.
No, we're 800 crates in it. Now you gotta finish it.
Yeah.
Do you ever expect to be servicing your converters?
I don't expect to be servicing anything.
Okay, perfect. This means I can just bury them.
Yeah, I would assume so. I
Oh,
almost
I'd
buried all
stay-
the generators, so...
Yeah, I'd better ask before I do it.
Yeah. It's a good question. I almost buried all the fuel rods and everything.
Because stylistically it just looks better in my opinion.
Yeah, to hide them.
Yeah, because they're just facing each other. Also, on
Yeah.
a side note, if you ever need to take one out, they're bolted from the inside in the box thrusters.
Well, auto unbolt does work. That is something in the game that does work. Right click, unbolt. Man.
It's just a FYI, in case you're curious why all of your YOLO chips jump out, but the converters didn't.
Oh yeah, I have to figure out where I'm gonna put YOLO. Probably up here in the...
I mean, we
cockpit.
can always hide it in the thrusters.
Yeah, there's lots of room back there. Alright, now I have to figure out...
Oh yeah, right, I need to attach the thruster to the
If
heart.
I put the
Almost
bolts
forgot that part.
right through there, you see them, don't you? So we can weld. I can weld block this, can't I? And you don't see those. So there's a little gap here. I think I can weld the advanced displays on, where you can't see them. Where you can't see the
Well,
weld blocks.
remember to have room for the contactor.
Oh, there's a contactor that has to go behind it?
It's recommended.
You can't just snap it to a control panel?
Well, you can, but like it helps greatly to have a there are reasons to need why you might need a hinge plus duct for a contactor.
Oh, you're talking for the hollow displays. Oh, you.
Not even hollow, just standard displays also can benefit from that technique.
Yeah, but you can have the
But,
connector essentially anywhere in that system, right?
but yeah, the display needs to be either on a control panel
Yeah, which is where it
or
is
have a
right now.
socket in one of the corners or the center, I think.
Yeah, these are on control panels. Trying to do the control panels without, well, the bolts I don't mind through the control panel. I don't want them.
Boltless control panels are the way to go.
They're not always super easy to do.
No one ever said that they'd be easy.
I don't know which one of these. Yeah. Okay, so those are all. Ooh, that was a.
Attach, create.
I don't like those.
Oh. Come on. Wait, I should not do this with the magnet tool on, probably.
I thought you wouldn't see those. You're still seeing those. I don't want to see those. Just gotta get them in a different spot. Yeah, I'm gonna try for boltless, but I don't know which buttons I even need at this point. So this is just a kind of a fruitless exercise.
Oh, the thrusters are actually. Oh, I see. That's actually.
So
Oh,
we'll be able to hold those on without bolts.
Unheard of.
So these will be behind buttons, but the concept is there. It's not. It shouldn't be too hard to get decently boltless. Can I still see these ones too? I can. This is just the weld blocks will work. They just have to be placed really, really gingerly.
Could you please put the thing where I want it?
No, it's not allowed to put it where you want it. It has to put it in the worst possible spot.
Yeah,
Alright, so that's possible to get.
Let's see how hilariously bad this beam will hold up if I now transfer the load to this intersection.
So,
Actually, not so terribly.
If I bolt levers and things from the back, do you still see the bolts coming through?
As it depends.
So in order to use bolts from the backside, you have to like have the right enough amount of plates behind it to like shorten it, or how does that work? How do you get utterly boltless dashes?
Basically there are a few techniques like socket bolting. That's one that is always great and that gives good success. But that's a lot of trial and error. Just being very flush and you can bolt it. Auto bolting actually. Because auto bolting knows how long of a bolt it needs to place. Sometimes.
That whole sometimes part is what gets you.
Yeah, that. Oh no, where's the nugget industry?
So like if I bolt these from the backside, it's not gonna work. Can you bolt like bolts hold from the top if you bolt down? I've never tried this.
Like to break, that's fine.
Well, they don't even look like bolts like that. Look at that. Oh, I like that. It's not going to work everywhere, but the whole panel's coming off. Which is a good sign that the other bolts worked. Look at that bolt. Now that. Oh, I think that looks great. That caught these two buttons, which I was going to have as sensitivity buttons. Like a high-low
Okay.
sensitivity kind of deal.
Okay, the first section of thrusters might be bolted.
I love how you prefaced that with might be bolted.
Well, let's see what the. Nah, I forgot some ducts. Just if you modularize everything, just remember if you ever need to remove them. I guess. But for an additional, just kidding. But that's a lot of That's a lot of red.
I just liked how this bolted through the button, the progress bar, and that lever, all with one
I
bolt.
bolted something in sillier places, but yeah. That's what the silliest bolting I ever did was. Okay, strength factor currently is 1.2217.
Good enough. Alright, so let me bolt these. So these were, this is the first time I've ever done this, but I actually labeled the pitch, yaw, roll, FCU forward, FCU backward, because I'm always like, I always just cram the levers in, and then anytime I need to adjust anything, I have to U-tool every damn lever. I know it's something stupid, but I just never do it.
It's not my generator setup, and it's not my problem. I've been paid to bolt.
What's wrong with the generators now?
Heat.
Oh yeah, I haven't played with heat yet, but they're not touching, most of them. There are some touching.
Some are touching, and they're touching in groups of 1, 2, 3.
So there's a vertical gap, and
There's a vertical gap.
and there's a horizontal gap,
In
actually.
some, but the one is like
Right.
touching groups of 6 and that.
Yeah, there's two that are definitely touching, and I think there's a bigger group
With
of like
enhancers.
9. Yeah. Oh, I don't doubt there's going to be some heat to deal with. That's
Okay. Well, I've been paid to bolt. I haven't been paid to fix the generators.
correct.
But for an addition, just kidding.
Oh, that's not sitting quite in the right spot, is it? Do these ones sit tight? Not quite.
Do you bolt the center section or do you bolt the back thrusters? It's kind of too late to bolt. It's kind of. Of course, it's a comedy of errors.
What?
The fact that I didn't bolt the center section first. I assume you don't want to see any of the exposed beams.
Let me look at your screen. Hold on. Click. Full screen.
Do
Hold
you
on.
care if it's flange bolted like that?
Where are you? Let me see. Oh, you're by the plates? No, go ahead. That's fine. Up close, you're fine like that. Can you flange bolt them from the inside?
No, because the beam isn't there.
Yep. So no.
I could try to socket bolt in the center of the beam.
I don't know how that. The flange bolting's probably fine.
Because socket bolting would work like this.
I've never messed with that. How does that work for durability?
Actually, do well. And actually, I can even. Might even be able to cheese bolt. No, that won't let me.
Alright, so that works
So
pretty
basically, I
well.
would socket bolt it like this.
Alright.
Now show the beams again. Remove the sockets, and bang, no bolts.
So when you put a socket in and then you take the socket back out and it just magically holds it?
Now the trick is you need to remove the socket tool, because if you just hit delete, it doesn't work.
So you like right
Because
click with the socket tool?
the game's, if you hit delete, the game's smart enough to check whether or, yes, right, click with the socket tool.
And then the bolts just magically... Oh, I see what you're doing. You're
Because it
putting
doesn't bother
bolts...
if you have the socket tool on. It doesn't.
So what you're doing is you're bolting
Yep.
through the socket tool and
Yes.
into the beam. Oh, that's... And then when you remove the socket via the socket tool, it leaves the bolts, which are inside the beam.
Yes. Good luck fixing it ever, but
I was never trying to fix it. It was always just going to be repaired.
well, then you're in luck, because
That's
not,
what I gotta do.
you're not fixing a socket bolted bolt in this case. Actually, ever.
Alright, so that stuff should all hang on. I have no idea how many buttons I need, and we'll remove panels as they require it.
That panel's just, actually, yes, it is. I was like, wait, did you actually just not support the panel? But no, you did.
Oh, I got a message from somebody. Oh, Squatch. I think so. I want to make... I'm answering you, Squatch. Railings look like pipes with rust and corrosion. Alright, you guys have to give me 1 second. I gotta use a restroom real quick. I'm gonna put you on the preheating screen. Oh, you know what? We'll put you on the what's this? The Vega screen. You guys can watch Vega.
You know, it's like, yeah. Funnily enough, it's just like this tiny little bit in the center where I actually look through and everything's just open toolboxes. Yeah. Okay, is that... Are we it's actually just gonna surfboard that much? Okay. What? Know what that beam does. Probably important. More socket bolting.
Sorry about that. I was about ready to wet myself. Nobody wants to see that. I mean, you can't see me anyways. They're lying to you. Maybe we'll do an experiment with adding 12 centimeters at a time. Or, I just realized I think you can move smaller distances than 12 centimeters reliably if you use ducting. But I haven't played with it yet.
Actually,
But, alright, those are bolted, those are bolted. I haven't touched these. These hard points, those hard points, just pretend those hard points aren't there. They are going to end up being a pain.
Life's hard sometimes.
So this cargo lock beam is a Pathfinder, I guess his damage would call it. It just squeaks out of a gap right there. But they just take a bunch of positional work, so this hard point. I think this one works. We're gonna bolt this one and
It's your
pretend
next alt account name. Hardpoint.
I actually have the character hard point.
Perfect.
I have far point, waypoint, and hard point. And it's funny is
What's next? Good point.
no point. I had Kai change what my original character's name to Waypoint, and it has a capital P in the middle, which you can't do on your own.
That's fucking right.
I like the capital P in the middle. That's how I spell Farpoint.
Yeah, no.
For right now, you only use
Actually,
Path PF for RF to show the size of the ship in your opinion. So yeah, so I'm gonna. These are just for. I guess you would call these crosshairs. They're not for. They're not for avoidance. They're just for pointing.
Friends. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
If in the friends list you can actually have numbers, or if the game just says like you cannot enter a number, what are you doing?
I bet Kai could put numbers in your names. You know, Dev
Yes,
could put covers in your name.
But then the next question is, can anyone else actually in the friends list? The social menu, right?
Oh yeah, try to find a friend. Could they ever find you? Because they can't put it in. I don't know. Question for.
Question I want to actually ask.
It's a good question. All right, so let's.
Like it's complete nonsense. It's like the. But like, it would be. The only thing I hate about figuring it out, doing that science is having to ask him about it.
Oh, you don't like asking him about it?
No, I hate asking community managers because like they get so much bad news all the time.
Oh, I talk to Kai and Lori all the time. I don't ask. The deal is I don't ask them. I don't ask for favors, and I don't give them suggestions. So it's just a conversation. So it's I 100% do not make game suggestions, nor do I ask for favors unless it's something like that everybody asks them, like my ship is lost or I need something that is like his job.
Name change is kind of falling in the other side of the.
Well, I asked for the name change because there's the that mechanic in the game is not working. Like it's supposed to be there. It's just it just doesn't work as intended. So the method for name changes at the point is to ask Kai.
Yeah, I mean, he had changed this name on this character once, so I misspelled it when I joined the game because I always have the habit of changing the tab, hitting enter, and that confirmed the name.
Oh yeah, your name always gets me because it's not a Vega is lost. There's the T in the middle of it that throws me off every time.
Yes, because German.
But you're not German.
Well, I speak Swiss German.
Swiss German? That's where I call it Switzerlandish. If it's not German, just own it. It's like when we say that we speak American English. It's makes me chuckle because people that from England don't even speak English.
It's British.
Their English is so bad. I've always wanted to go to like an English high school English class to see how it is taught. I imagine that would be interesting.
Crimes against bolts again.
No, English grammatically is horrible.
English is like one of the worst languages grammatically ever.
What is English?
Grammatically one of the worst languages there are.
I can bet that. It's a difficult grammatic language. My wife
Like
teaches.
French is the one like of the most consistent languages when it comes to grammar.
Yes, yes, it is much more consistent. English isn't consistent, but our rules. We got lots of rules on how you're supposed to speak English.
Is it rules or is it exceptions?
Well, there's a lot of both. There's a lot of rules and exceptions to the rules. And that just has to do with America's history. I don't even understand German grammar. They stopped teaching grammar in schools here. I was super like disappointed because I think we should continue to teach how to speak correctly and to write correctly. It's more about writing than speaking. Um, but we don't write correctly anymore in the United States. We use bad grammar because it sounds more like you would talk. But whatever. My kids are all taught grammar. My kids are also taught Latin, which helps with grammar. Most of our languages are romantic based, so it feels like even German is romantic based, isn't it?
Yeah, you always heard it referred to as a Germanic language.
So it's not Roman based. Interesting. What is this thing that we're seeing on the windows? Is that what's in the way? Alright, so that should be a hard point there. I don't think I did this hard point from the side. How do you guys do this all the time? Alright, let's see. Tech, yes, but not this. I'm never interested in speaking in the future from... It's stupid. Well, you learn Latin solely because our languages are based off of it. Like, you can just understand basics of other languages by learning Latin. You also learn English better. But,
Well, I mean, a lot of the English words also come from German and French, so you know.
yeah, I mean, the English language
Well,
is just a
some
conglomeration
people,
of everything.
yeah, some people claim it's just a cliche.
And we have a lot of our languages rooted in other languages.
Come on, Chet. Come on, Chet. You can get that joke.
A cliche? That's a French term?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I got that. We use a lot of French terms, we just don't realize they're French. We also use a lot of Spanish terms.
Near strength limit. Oh yeah, right. Because it's just. That's fine. Just have like 2 points of failure. It's not a single point of failure, so it's good.
Those weld blocks in the way now. It seems alright. Let's use the snapping tool. The snapping tool is becoming my friend.
It is a good tool. Like you need to do a tier list at some point. Someone needs to do a tier list of all the tools in the SSC.
I learned 90% of my English knowledge since I started playing Starbase. That's funny. I was listening to there's a Japanese Starbase YouTuber, and I
Iwatari?
with what?
Mori Watari?
I don't know.
And that was the guy that invented the original speed sensor.
I don't know. There was a guy
One of
I
the
just put out a video this morning, but it's in Japanese, and I don't understand a lick of Japanese. But it's just I think it's so funny when there's Starbase terms sprinkled in.
Yeah.
You know,
Ghetto
he
tools.
was all blah 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 intersection beam blah 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 hard point. You know, it's like.
Or never I've listened to a lot to into Ouroboros Discord. It's like the blah blah
Oh
blah blah Garodium.
yeah.
It's like, oh wait, that's
Yeah,
the
I can
ore.
only can get enough. But it was enough that he had English subtitles, like he had translated, but he was speaking in Japanese. But I just I like when other languages peek through what you're saying. Oh, let's see, is that gonna go through? No, that should be okay.
Why was it? It's 1.027. Where's?
Well, 1.4 is the furthest I've gotten so far, so
Oh, I had this thing at like 1.2 strength factor. No.
I need to see how many parts are falling off. Okay.
Oh, okay, it's that plate, huh?
Yeah, I figure when you're done, I'll just sucker damage into fixing all of the durability errors.
I
Make it
know they're built here, otherwise.
not durability errors, like cranking the durability up. How's that?
Yeah.
That's what.
Okay, just remove the bolt and you get more strength factor. That yeah, hashtag logic.
Well, I think it's the way it determines what
Because
stress is
the
being
part
applied.
becomes load bearing and
Yep.
thus is weaker.
Yep.
Yeah, I know why it does it. Also, 3
Oh,
points of failures for the win, I guess.
yeah, I know why it does it. I just think it's stupid. Oh, somebody held a message for allow. What did I say? I will start streaming if my internet working, so you can all have fun with stupid. Okay. Oh, here, this is funny. So the chat bot flagged Damage's statement for saying stupid German. It was a derogatory term about a racial group, just so you know. That's what the chatbot thought. Stupid German was a it was a slur. I mean, things are getting pretty bad.
I mean, it doesn't bolt well with durability up here.
All right, let's see. This one gets bolted. Which way? Can I get down on top of that? How was your flight yesterday, Dirty, by the way? Did you have a good time? Did you get nauseous? It's about not intelligent German. I allowed it. It just flags. I just use a generic chatbot. So it must have a very, very strict. It does not. It doesn't like that beam because it's not tufting enough other beams. This is the stuff I just don't know about. Every beam has to touch
no,
two
that
other
beam
beams.
has an error because it's not connected to a second beam.
Yep, every beam has to touch two other beams. So
Also, wait, what's your graphics setting? Because it looks like potato mine currently.
It's probably potato mode.
No, because it looks the graphics look like it's like a game trailer type of graphic.
I imagine they're on as lowest settings as they can be, and it's because I was being lazy and didn't crank them back up.
Oh, you probably had shadow quality on high. That's probably the thing.
No, everything's medium and low, and that's because what I was
It's like my settings were like,
I was running
temporal lately, and AA was TAA was probably on.
Probably. I was using the surfacer on a second account, and if I put everything, if I go down to potato mode, try a weld block. You put one weld block inside the beam connection, and it counts as a second beam, I'm assuming. So you're saying weld block the actual connection?
Yeah, I think that is maybe the temporal anti-aliasing. Because, like, for some reason, it actually doesn't look...
It doesn't look terrible?
It looks like Breath of the Wild with the self-shading effect taken off.
Yeah, it doesn't,
that one bridge that... Yeah. I'm not a graphics designer, chat, you know. I'm an electrical engineer.
Oh, you're electrical engineer? That's what you are?
Yes. Yes.
Electrical so circuitry or building engineering? What? Because there are niches.
I guess.
Circuitry, like you design PCB kind of things, or
yes.
Really?
Yeah.
See, that's
and
super
also
awesome.
write software.
See, that's super interesting stuff. Kick on the beam durability tool says part not strong enough to support what's connected to it.
That looked like a big number.
What?
No.
209%?
Yeah, it's basically because it has to
Yeah,
carry like
yeah,
probably
it's
a bunch of thrusters behind it.
yep. I see it. I'm
Is there anything else it could use to attach a hard point to?
oh, absolutely. I'm just
Try
have to
attaching the other
yeah.
stuff then.
Yep.
Because the dead end beam plus stuff at the other part
What if we
just
just
not work.
do this? What if I bolt the hard point this way to this beam that's here? It still doesn't
Probably is gonna
like the
help, but the beam still is
what?
still
Yep.
surfboarding.
Yep. Yep.
Or
All right. So
planking, I guess.
I'm
Whatever.
so not the beam is the problem. The hard point to the side beam. All good. Delete the thruster bolt.
Look, the game doesn't like if a beam just is a dead end. You want to close the loop somehow.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So that turns yellow, but we're not actually bolted. I just need to connect this beam. Is really all it is. There just needs to be a beam connection here. It's all.
Yeah,
I think.
exactly.
But I was.
It's also at some point, like that, I at some point unfortunately had discovered the art of equalizing beam stress. Or to rotate the beams until it's not broken. Because it's only like in the corners where it like does the thing. And depending on how it places these beam connections. Yeah.
I don't want to do jankiness. He says try the well blocking. All right, we'll try it.
Yeah, large weld laser cube on the hard point.
Well, he's saying try it, so you know it's working.
No, that's the same beam. It needs to go to a different beam.
Well, it was yeah, it was. Oh, I see what you're saying. You need to connect it to a different beam.
Yeah, large weld block should span the gap.
It certainly spans the gap, but it's not. It's not liking it. All right, maybe I'm just not catching it.
Actually, doesn't look like it's actually spanned the gap.
There it is. All right, but that's crooked. I didn't like that. I can span the gap there if we get it just
exactly perfect.
Yeah, I hate
Actually,
that.
there's heaps of space.
Yeah.
Yeah. That.
Ugh. It looks like so shit though.
Yeah, it's like the pre-weld it's like the just put it there.
All right.
It's just a workaround. It's not like you're out of space here.
Well, I don't need. Do I even need this beam at all?
No, you don't.
If I just bolt through this thing, is that just the solution?
It is the solution, apparently.
So
remember,
like
I somehow attached an entire triangle one that was the triangle thruster was pre-bolted, but I attached it to a hardpoint with 2 bolts in its corner.
Yeah, I've seen some really janky hardpoint things. This one not touching.
Yeah, like this.
Please don't bolt these ugly. These we're inside a like you
the
can't.
reason why it even bolted with any strength at all is probably because it bolted the hardpoint and the 2 thruster housings together.
Oh, something's not right here, anyways.
So
This
probably hit like 5 pieces.
This hardpoint isn't in the right spot. Let me turn machinery back on. We're not actually. Yeah, there's a gap there now. It's not touching now. Awesome. Does it? That's where that has to go. That wasn't even in the right spot, but I can bolt through this side either way. That hard point wasn't doing anything. That's hilarious. So that must be the top of the hard point.
I'm like halfway done and I still don't want to do it.
You just don't want to do it anymore? This is where you're making your money.
Yeah, that's fair.
I didn't want to do it at all. Something.
Well,
something's going on.
Yeah, it looks like halfway done. Because
I apparently
generators
deleted
aren't bolted yet. And like, I'm just tempted to hit the auto bolt button.
That's that would be tragic.
Oh. Well,
what is the problem?
It'd have almost gotten away with it.
If it wasn't for you meddling kids Wait, you don't even know that reference.
Yeah, I know.
You know that reference? I would have gotten
I
away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling kids.
is it an anime?
it's it's an old cartoon.
Okay, then no, I didn't. No.
Oh, I got mechanicals locked on. I hate this.
Uh,
Let's see. It is Ruh-roh Ragged. Yep, Death Sun got it right away. It's Scooby Doo. Scooby Doo. It's an
yeah, no, I
old.
would never have gotten that reference because here in Switzerland, they actually translated it all German. It's all German, the voice acting.
Oh yeah.
German TV loves to have everything German.
So we have a lot of movies where the bad guy is German, and the bad guy always has a German accent. In Germany, what kind of accent does he have?
Great question.
Like, because in the U.S. it's always a German accent. Bad guys are always Germans. Like, do you know the movie Die Hard? The first Die Hard movie?
Stirb langsam. Possibly yes.
Well, it's funny is the bad guy in that movie is German, but he has a British accent, which I always thought was absolutely hilarious.
I think it's called Stirb langsam in German.
There's
I
that was
slowly.
Snape from Harry Potter was the bad guy in that.
Yeah.
Let's see, how can I get enough bolts in those?
Well, but yeah, like I said, if there are any complaints, give me. Like I said, once it's done, like if there are any complaints, you can always come to my complaint department. Image is still loading. It's loaded.
The
Please
complaint
take a number.
department. Yeah. Yeah, if it's anything like my complaint department, it doesn't do you a whole lot of good.
Well, I sent you the image.
I got too many windows open. Complaint department, please take a number. That's funny. Alright, so what do I actually have bolted and not bolted? Like this doesn't appear to be bolted at all. I don't know. Are the insides of this not bolted?
It's actually just like 3 hours of bolting.
Hasn't been 3 hours yet. Well, I don't know when you started, but
Well, it's like actually no, it's not. Hasn't been quite that long. Well,
I mean,
let's remember.
I feel like I've been bolting for a year. And it's not been anywhere near that long. Alright, how do I get bolts in? I guess so that one should be alright. How do I get bolts in that guy? It's this corner over here?
You bolted through the corner of the hard point in two precise locations, so it hits both the hard point, both thruster walls, both the thing, or just add bolts.
You lost me at precise location.
Well, you know, it's fair.
You lost me at precise location. I don't think.
Fair point. Is that already one of your
no
account names?
No fair point. Ugh.
Yeah, it's like recently the F1 ticket I submitted for an exploit I found.
Oh yeah, you said something about an exploit. What was it?
Yeah, the 2 rods and 1 fuel chamber.
Oh, that seems dangerous, even if it is an exploit.
Well, you know, the funny part is that they just dealt with it like halfway correctly. Where it's just, yeah, you just have 600,000 exorium fuel in that chamber, maximum.
Oh, so it just
It
essentially doubles up on the rods?
it actually doubled up on the rod. Which is
Interesting.
hysterical.
I mean, that seems like a good use of rod space, right?
Yeah. Probably great for range extension at low profile.
If I could, certainly, I would do it if I could. Like, if it was that okay, I would.
It's... Laurie, can we get tier 3 fuel rod? No, we have tier 3 fuel rod at home. Tier 3 fuel rod at home. So yeah, I would call this exploit the tier 3 fuel rod at home.
That's called a tier 4 fuel rod.
Well, no, isn't tier 3 like... Wouldn't tier 3 just be double the exorium of tier 2?
I don't know. Oh yeah, we don't have a T3 fuel rod,
Yes.
do we?
Yeah, that's the joke here.
Oh yeah. Oh man. I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, I put it in to make in I think a Mega Zoom it was. Yeah, because like when you do that, you also need to give it the steps to reproduce. So I had to like play around with it a little to actually know the steps to reproduce, and I would call it reasonably easy.
Have fun doing it. I am doing it, but no, there is no fun to be had here. Are none of these, like, what are the little red boxes? What are they? What are we? I guess I can click on them. At least one more bolt. Is that for the...
The reason is one of the bolts going into the burner, right, goes through a beam in the beam through the thruster body into the burner, and that one's like has to carry everything, and that's overloaded, that bolt.
Oh, I see what I'm looking at. It goes through the hard point.
Exactly.
So if I take that out, it's happy.
I don't know if it's then happy. Apparently it is. Or do you add another one on like the opposite side of the hard point?
See, that makes it not happy.
Yeah, but you need to. I think no, that one's too far out now.
I see it. You put him. It's intentionally into that thing.
Yeah.
Now it's got
Because
an extra
if a
one.
bolt can hold together 3 objects at once, or 2, I guess connects 3, it somehow gains a huge bonus in durability.
Okay, so we got rid of some. Kill the red bolt. Alright, the glass. I need to hide the glass. I hate seeing the glass. I hate that I can see the triangles through what I'm looking at. So sometimes I'm trying to figure out where the triangle is, or I call it a triangle. It's not a triangle. The red cube is.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's all the way across the ship.
Okay.
I think this one. I'm trying to solve these one at a time. I don't know how else to do it.
Well, we'll get there when we get there.
Is that 6 or 6?
Still contemplating if I just take the front end of my other fighter and just cut it in half and put that on this fighter.
Oh, you're back to your fighter already? You're done with my thrusters?
Yes.
Are you done with my thrusters?
I'm not done with the thrusters, but
I just said F it and quit. That's what just what is that we're getting at?
no.
Man, you are not going to get a bonus for expediting it.
Well, no, we are taking a rest from that because it's to ensure that we don't get more delays.
We're taking a break to ensure that we don't get more delays. That sounds like corporate nonsense.
Yeah, look, I even have a PowerPoint made for this. We're using all the pre-made templates.
This part likely to fall off if collision occurs. What part are we looking at? Oh,
This means that if you crash into something, the beam stress might knock it off. And it's just loses all bolt connection. I tend to ignore these warnings.
yeah, but you tend to ignore all sorts of warnings.
Well, if you try to not ignore warnings, you will have to continuously add strength until you're at like 10 million strength factor.
Yep.
Because it will always warn you, hey, this is the lowest strength factor. It's like I
don't think
put
there's
together Carglock beam and didn't realize that it was already like 200 strength factor.
Yeah, that's how you just slowly work the durability of your ship up, right?
Yeah, you just add stuff.
You just keep going.
It would be nice if the game would actually tell you which one explicitly is the one with least strength, or show it to me easily, because like is it this cube? Is it this cube? No.
Yeah, it shows you like the bottom 10 or something. So you have to run around
like,
and
it should just show me the cube.
yeah. There's a few more like tweak settings I'd like to see the game and just have like things like that. I don't think I have any.
Still love the hilarity of in this fight you just sit on the prop tank.
You know what? That's in some of the early fighter jets. Well, you guys are German. What's it? So the Messerschmitt was like the first jet engine. Anything else hits you? When they first made that ship, it was a turbine engine that ran through the entire length of the ship, and the pilot straddled it.
I actually don't know about that one, but sure.
Well, so let me see if I can find it. It was pretty sure it was a Messerschmitt
because the Germany at that time.
Well, yeah, but the Germany at that time.
Well, that's all I'm gonna say about it.
The Messerschmitt Me-62, known as the Swallow. It had the first jet. Yeah, the Me-262 has a turbine that runs the length of the airplane right down the middle of it. And
it had 3, I see.
Yes, it didn't only have 1, but it has a turbine that runs right down the middle of the airplane, and the pilot actually, the center turbine runs right between his legs.
262.
It had a name. I don't remember what I mean, I think the 262.
262.
Yeah, damage. I agree that if you
yes, it was the Me-262, the first one with the jet engine apparently. No.
There was the Germans have always made amazing airplanes.
Das erste in Serie gebaute Strahlflugzeug.
Sounds way cooler when you say it. Thank you.
Do you want me to just read the first part? Die Messerschmitt Me-262, eine Entwicklung der Messerschmitt AG. Augsburg war das erste seriegebaute Strahlflugzeug zwischen 1943 und 1945.
Yep.
Wurden 14.033 Exemplare mit der zweistrahligen Maschine gebaut. Yeah, it goes on.
Yeah,
it does sound cool in German, yes.
Dirty says it had marginal performance and was too late to really do any difference. Yes, the airplane itself was too late. A lot of the stuff that a lot of Germany's best
were too late.
Well, a lot of their best equipment came later in the war when it was essentially too late to do any good. But it started the whole jet fighter thing. I can spread these out on this one. Even though it was too little, too late, it ended up.
The technology was packed up, shipped to Russia, shipped
Yep.
to the US.
Yep.
And yeah.
Yeah, it ended up. Even though it was too little, too late, it was still an amazing airplane. It was an amazing concept. How about that instead of an amazing airplane? Oh, so that beam there is. I don't know why that beam is there. Oh, that holds those. You're heading out.
Yes.
Well, thank you for your help. I always appreciate your company, Vega.
Yeah, let's think what. Let's think what.
And we're gonna put some bolts. Now these are hinges, so we're just gonna ignore these for now. But this is the bottom of this I want to open, so you get in that way. This floor should swing down to get in and out. We'll see how it works. But I'm slowly getting rid of red squares. Oh, the glass isn't attached. I am not 100% sure how I'm going to attach that glass. I will have to put some more beams. Oh, I think I can actually... I think I thought this through at one point because I think I can bolt it, yeah, right across here. I've never bolted glass before, so I am not 100% sure how much. Am I catching the glass? I think I am. And then there's like an edge I can catch here. I think, no, nothing there. Just on the top and the bottom. Hopefully it's enough. Otherwise, I will once again have to do something different. I never took you for an airplane guy, Dirty. I'm just a history guy, not so much airplanes. I do know about airplanes solely because I've worked at both an airline and as an air traffic controller, but they're not really my passion, that's for sure. Huge fan of aviation. I'm a fan of the science of aviation. The fact that planes even fly is always... Oh, look at that little... yeah, the fact that planes even can fly always amazes me. When I worked at Cincinnati International Airport, Cincinnati Northern Kentucky International Airport. It's a fairly large airport. And there was once I saw a 747 coming in, and it was a freight 747. It was specific. So it wasn't. It was a modified 747 coming in for DHL, and there was a mishap on the ramp. So it wasn't on the runway. It was on the ramp, but it ended up driving over a fire truck. Like, it didn't hit it. It literally was so big that it just went over a fire truck. And I was shocked. There was no damage. Nothing even came close. But it turned when the fire truck wasn't exactly where it was supposed to be going, and the wing, a fairly big portion of the wing went right over the fire truck. And I was shocked at how big a 747 is up close. And I got to see the Airbus A380, which is another enormous airplane that just blows your mind how big it is. It needs more than 2 miles worth of runway to take off. Yeah, when you stand, and I had ramp access, so I could get places you really weren't supposed to be. The average person couldn't get. And so being able to stand in front of the turbines of that 747, you can just stand inside of them. You like the Russians' Antonov? Yes. The Antonov is another huge airplanes. The Russians went with like the 30 wheels, which always made me chuckle. Russian airplanes always have a million wheels. The Antonov's not the biggest. The Ukrainian one was the biggest, was it not? The Myra, one of the ones that they lost at the beginning of the conflict, was the largest airplane ever. There's only 2 ever built. I think it's called the Myra. It means dream or something. Oh, it is Antonov? I thought it was Ukrainian made, but... Yeah, the Imprezas are heavy lift airplanes. They don't usually use them as passenger airplanes, though. I can't see what I'm bolting. Yeah, the Antonovs are super impressive. Did I miss the end of that one? Am I missing it, or why is that? Am I in something? Alright, I must have been. F-14? Yeah. Those are crazy airplanes. So when I was a kid, my dad drove, he was a truck driver, and he drove a fuel truck for the U.S. Navy. He's not in the Navy, he was not a Navy personnel, but he was he contracted out, but he brought fuel into the Navy yard in Miami, Florida all the time, where I grew up. And he used to fuel the SR-71 that they kept there. And I couldn't get anywhere near it, obviously, but I did get a football field from it when I was a little kid. And it was the craziest airplane I'd ever seen. He used to have to drive next to it while it was on its run up to the runway, so they would pump fuel into the SR-71 while it was driving, because the aircraft was designed to be flown under such pressures that when it was on the ground and not under pressure, it would leak fuel really, really badly, almost as fast as they could pump it in. So he had to drive next to it when I was a kid, and they would just pump fuel in it as fast as they can. It was the craziest thing I ever saw. I only saw it once, and I was about 7 maybe. And it was a lot bigger in person. You can go see it at the museum now. I haven't seen it there. I should just go see it. They have it at the Air and Space Museum. But it was much, much bigger than I ever expected it to be. And that was a crazy airplane. They go faster than the SR-71 now. It doesn't have the top speed, does it? Because it was like Mach 2.6 or something. Fastest airplane. Yeah, SR-71 still 4,250 miles an hour. Mach 0.539. Mach 6.7 is what but Mach numbers are adjustable based on altitude. So at 102,000 feet. 102,000 feet. Almost 20 miles in the air. So, if you guys aren't aviation people, standard. Let me do this math before I talk. 39 miles. a standard airplane, when you fly a standard 737, 747 commercial airliner flies anywhere on a standard route trip from 24,000 feet to say 35 or 37,000 feet, depending on the airplane. 37 is kind of the top of it for most commercial airplanes with passengers and luggage. Private jets and high-performance jets like Citations and Gulfstreams, you'll see up at 41. I think I've cleared somebody for as high as flight level 470, 47,000 feet, but you never really get anything. The U-2, which is a spy plane here in the United States, does practice missions at 60,000 feet. But we're just saying the SR-71, its record of Mach 6.7, it was taken at 102,000 feet, which is just an absurd altitude to fly at. An absurd altitude. Again, my brain, that's crazy. Even 60,000 feet, which is the U-2, had 60,000 feet, and that is absurd. So miles per hour is a terrible unit of measure once you get off the ground. It just it does not it doesn't work when you get off the ground. So you have to switch to either knots, or even knots don't work above. You don't do knots once you get into the higher altitudes. You do everything in Mach numbers. Why doesn't miles per hour work? So you can't measure how fast an aircraft is going based on its track over the ground, because the higher up it is, the further it has to fly to cover the same track along the ground. So an airplane that's flying 1 foot off the ground only has to fly 1 kilometer to actually move 1 kilometer along the surface. If you're up at like 50 or 60,000 feet, you have to fly significantly larger than that, because the radius of the Earth gets larger the higher you go up. So it doesn't work in the higher altitudes. It's very, very inaccurate. So they switch over to Mach numbers, which is essentially miles per hour with an adjustment built into it. So it's hard to calculate Mach numbers without some sort of help. As an air traffic controller, you just asked people what their Mach number was. You didn't even... But as long as everybody is using the same standard, it works just fine. So as long as everybody's using knots, or everybody's using Mach numbers, it works. But you use Mach numbers at the higher altitudes. You don't use nautical miles. It wouldn't be kilometers. I don't even think they use kilometers even in Europe as a unit of measure. It would be nautical miles, if anything. I don't know anymore. I feel like I'm just putting in bolts at this point. Trying to make sure everything's bolted.
How's your build coming along?
Holy shit.
That scare you?
Jeez, just some creepy kid jumped into my ear. What is up? How are you? How you doing, Peg? How you doing? I need a hi Xenon. Yeah, I need some sort of a doorbell when somebody pops in here.
Because you're on stream mode, it doesn't make the sound for you when somebody peeks.
Yeah, probably. I don't get any of those noises.
Oh.
Probably just have
I
it
should,
turned
like-
off. Yeah, it was off. It's fine. It's fine. It's good for you to get scared now and again. I'm bolting, so hello Django, hello Xenon. So you know, I'm having just a good old time bolting stuff.
The cockpit?
This is the cockpit portion. Yeah, I've bolted the crates. I've bolted the center section, like the core spine of the ship is bolted. Now I'm
Okay,
on the
that's
cockpit, and Vega is gonna bolt the thrusters for me. So
God bless Vega, holy cow.
well, I'm paying him. He wanted money. He said he didn't have any money. I'm like, I don't care about money, so I'll pay you too much money to do the part that I don't want to do.
Hold on, Starbase or?
Yeah, no, Starbase money. Yeah, Starbase money's too easy to get, so if somebody wants paid in Starbase money. Though, I probably would have paid him in good old US dollars if he wanted them. It's okay. It's okay, this part sucks, but to be honest, now that the cargo pod is done, and the center section, that's essentially 12 of the 14 sections bolted. So, and they're all bolted and cabled. So,
Really?
yeah. So it should. I mean, I'm not that far out. There's still going to be just a ton of work in the whole actually making it fly part. Like,
Good progress. Sometimes it doesn't take too long. Sometimes it takes like no time. Sometimes it takes forever to make it fly. So you might get lucky.
yeah. I mean, and the ship is very symmetrical, so I shouldn't have a ton of like the fiddly stuff to do, but figuring out beam stress and make sure everything's strong enough is probably just gonna be the hardest part.
If it's green, it's good. That's it. Just
That's,
gotta make it green.
yeah, I'm not hoping for much, but like I said, this ship was never supposed to go anywhere. So if I can get one copy of it that flies, that's good. That's good enough. Why are you still red? But
It's not touching two other beams.
oh, it was this beam. I was the plate, but the plate's probably red because this beam's yellow. Yeah, there's weird. I hate that there's weird rules, and especially when I'm doing everything in this modular manner, I can't even always figure it out because I don't have all the pieces. I have to like stick the other pieces on to check how it goes, but we'll see. Like why? Oh, that's red because there's no attachments. Oh man. All right. Yes, he got paid. You want to be paid too. Trust if when they go through this and it doesn't work, I'll pay you to fix it. This ship's going to be the death of my career in the SSC is what it's going to be. Though, I do have to say I have learned a ton. I am definitely more comfortable in here moving around, which was a huge problem of mine. So, it was definitely a success as far as that goes. Is that just not welded? What is... Doesn't like those long straight beams without anything connected to
Yeah,
it.
it doesn't like a beam that's not only support on one side.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
hates it with a passion.
I could just... Django said he put a pic in the media folder. Let's go look.
Oh, good luck, Jonka, I guess.
Django. Oh man. Your next ship. Open browser.
You've
Let's see if I...
seen how much time it took me already to build the King's Eagle.
Oh man, that looks like that looks like a nightmare is what that looks like. Good luck,
It
Django.
also looks fun to fly in because you can't see straight ahead.
It looks it looks great. Looks like it'll be like if you can pull it off. It'll be alright. Alright, so where's all my triangles? Are we seriously that close? We can't be that close. Yeah, some stuff's not even bolted to the ship. I don't know how that's. Oh, that is bolted. Just this hard point is that hard point bolted? No,
No, Darkwood doesn't look bolted.
it's not.
Because it clearly isn't green.
Yeah, it's not green.
The trick to that, my recommendation for bolting is you have these inside the cable thingies.
Oh, go up that
Go
way.
inside and go up into the beam because, yeah, that's how the hardwood.
Hold on, my headphones are gonna die. I apparently didn't charge them. That's not good. I haven't.
That will get entertaining.
I have a way to charge it. It's okay.
Oh.
There is a way.
None of them talks to chat, then chat
Yeah.
talks to folk, but the message might even get delivered.
Yeah, no, we'll make it work. I have these. Every chance I get, I use like this uses a USB-C connector, but I have these MagSafe. Do you know what a MagSafe connector is from the old Apples? So there's
Yes, they were the greatest thing ever, technically.
well, you can
Except when the cable wore out.
Yes. Well, you can essentially get push-in MagSafe connectors for USB-C, for micro USB, and for like iPhone connectors. So I use those all the time. So like for my headset, I don't have to actually plug it in. I just snap the magnet to it, and it's good to go.
Yeah.
But I use those. I suggest anybody because I have a ton of cables, and then I only need one cord on my desk with a MagSafe thing, and then it has all the different ends. You know, it fits all the different ends.
Always my big issue with cables was always not actually having the cables, but that's also sometimes an issue because mini USB is that awkward transitional period between micro USB. Mini USB is the awkward.
Yes.
Yeah, micro USB is that awkward transitional connector before we had Type C.
Yep.
But also like it started about when they stopped including the cables.
Do you not have a million cables? Like I have a box of.
I have a million cables and they're all mini USB.
Yeah,
None of them are micro.
Yeah.
I have like two good micro USB cables.
Oh, see, I have.
And then relatives come and say, "Hey, I need to charge X," and I don't know where the cable is. Like, really?
I have so many of the micro USB ones, the current ones. And I have tons of.
The one that is asymmetrical and has the two tabs on the top to hold in.
Yes, but there used to be one that was the same way and just fatter.
Yeah, that's the mini USB that has like the squiggly bit.
Yep.
That's how I remember.
I always called them. I always used to call them mini 6-pin is what they first came out calling those. And
probably because the USB standard didn't.
Yeah, So.
Didn't accept them yet, but yeah, it's like. The mini 6-pin is the one I have like heaps.
Oh, I don't have a ton of those. But I also don't have anything that uses it, so.
I have like basically nothing that uses it but a bunch of cables.
Oh.
Because the device gets thrown out, the cable gets kept, and they just, mold eventually grows on the cheap Chinese rubber.
Yep.
For some awkward reason.
Yeah.
Like you clean it off and you realize it actually ate the rubber.
That's good mold. It'll actually eat the rubber. That's some.
It would be nice if it didn't do it in our cable box.
Yeah. All right, so that one's
still the micro cables. It's like I have one device that I always need. I kind of want one for always. And like the micro cables were the ones where they started cheaping out and just making cables that only deliver power and no data. And you might realize that that's sometimes a huge issue.
Yeah, sometimes it really is. I need to turn what off? This off? So I can see.
And like Type C is like it's new enough that they don't include charging brick, but you often get a cable with it. And then it's like, yeah, relatives keep losing cable, and it's like I at one point just think of just buying like a box of mini USBs and box of Type Cs and like 5 charging bricks. It just, yeah,
Yeah, I buy I
them all laser engraved with my name. So I know it's my charging brick. This is my. I want to engrave the phone number, but that might not be the smartest idea.
yeah, doxing yourself.
Well, the thing is, like, my dad always likes to put the the landline on it, just so
Landline.
that if it gets lost and someone finds it, they call it, and we might even get it back.
Landline.
Yeah.
Do you guys still have landlines there? No,
Yeah.
nobody does. All right,
Well, I mean, it's all DS. No, not DSL. It's I forgot what it's called. Probably all VoIP nowadays. That's the yeah. It's new enough that it's a problem for old phones with the old Pulswahlverfahren.
yeah.
That's one. You know the one with the rotary dial.
Oh, I love
Yeah,
rotary dial.
those don't work anymore because they stopped doing.
You know, somebody recently made a rotary dial cell phone.
That's awesome.
Let me see if I can find it. It's the greatest thing. It's a real rotary dial phone,
Yeah.
but it is
Oh, wait,
on
we
a
had-
cell phone.
That reminds me of this one funny picture we took. It's like the edge. We have our family started this tradition of like Christmas. You gift each other one thing you like to gift, and one thing that's just kind of useless kind of thing. It's like what was I going to give to best? Like my grandfather last Christmas gifted like a piece of carpet. He cut off the carpet and put it in the box.
That's funny. There you go.
It's
There's
like how can I best it? And it's like my grandmother gave like her old phone, I think. And it's like because it uses the rotary scheme, it's like useless. So what I did is I took the earpiece, right, and put it in. Because we threw the rest of the phone away, but that part we still had for some reason. And then the grandmother ended up with that box because we had to like this weird fun game where it's like shuffled and whatever, and once all boxes are taken, you can put them in, yeah, see what's inside. She ended up with that. We all burst out at laughter.
that's we call that a white elephant gift. Those weird things. I don't know. Don't ask me why it's called a white elephant. But it is. All right. So I'm assuming my issue is that the strength issue has to do with these not being connected to anything.
Yeah, just put a beam on the end of those, like a long one, connecting all the end beams, and it should be fine.
Well, what we'll do is I actually have. Wow, that's interesting. I love when the module comes out and it's like in chunks. It's in pieces.
Hold it in. Yeah, it might even work.
I got it. Can you come over here? Why are you so far away? Let's see if it'll connect.
Yeah, snapping tool is definitely like S tier.
Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Like,
I did that wrong.
yeah.
I put it on the wrong side of the
power
ship.
yield deselected.
Yeah. So we want it over here. I still did it wrong. No, I didn't. That's it. Ooh. Now we'll weld everything and see what comes up.
You did do it wrong, I think.
No, there's an extra cross
Oh,
beam.
it's an offset. Yeah, it looks like you did wrong, but you didn't.
Nope. So
Your
ship strength
ability
1.2.
some.
1.2. These aren't bolted at all.
It's a durability of some.
I'll take 1.2.
Yeah, it's like on big ships it's not impossible to get high through. Well, I guess the Douglas Adams is next option.
Oh.
Like, he managed to get 42.069 durability or strength.
I'm gonna try and get the
It means-
durability up, but let's see there.
Yeah, like on my fighter, I have like 5.9 strength factor,
That's not the worst.
plus all the crash mitigation of the outside frame.
Did
Not
you?
outside frame, but
Are you mean from ramming? Is that what you're trying to mitigate, ramming?
a little bit.
Yeah, because
Although, even though it didn't happen a lot, I like the way it worked last time.
what?
Where it didn't knock too much stuff off if you rammed.
Trying to hide these bolts a little bit. I don't want them to see them from the outside, so. You want to bring in you're hoping for a durability of 3.0 fully loaded? I mean, I would take 3.0 fully loaded. Can I hide? I can't really hide those anywhere else. There, maybe.
I always hate when there's like this awkward space of I'm not quite sure what to put here.
Hold on, I'm not streaming you again. Let me come back
No,
to
I'm
this
not
one. Okay,
streaming either.
good. Well, then I don't have to watch it.
Yeah.
Will you go up there? Yeah, did I hit it? Not likely. I guess it did.
Like this front end. I actually have to try the other one. Because this one just looks too normal.
Come on, there's nothing I can do to get a bolt in there. I got one there.
Yeah, it doesn't like done that part something.
Alright, well let's see if those will hold. The idea is I'm trying to hide bolts when I can.
Well, you know, socket bolting is a thing.
Oh yeah, I forget about socket bolting. I need to really do some practice with socket bolting.
There's always time to do it later, I guess.
My hope is to just get a ship that flies and looks cool. That's step one. I've already seen 100 places where I did things wrong.
Doesn't matter, it flies and looks cool.
I already see 100 places where I did things wrong. So this is going to be an issue unless I put. I need like I just need little beams here, because no, because they're not touching at least 2 other beams. Ooh. I got a somebody just did a thing. Somebody subscribed. It always excites me when somebody subscribes. I want to say hello. Igloo Steak. I'd love to see your guys' names. Igloo Steak. How do you come up with a name like Igloo Steak?
Oh.
Who was the other one that made me laugh? Oh, the Rat Squad leader kind of always makes me chuckle. Sasquatch is another one that kind of makes me chuckle.
I think who was it? Brainless?
Brainless is a good one. But Igloo Steak. Freeloader. Well, your name I just screw up all the time. Freelancer, Freeloader, Freestyler. I just screw your name up all the time.
Bad, right?
And
It's that you hold the calipers out and just look. Okay, I'm holding a Mars or something like that. Yeah, about right.
It's about right. Alright, now I need to get some cabling through here.
Okay.
So that's cable. Oh, none of that's cable. That's not cable. Starts here. Okay.
I mean, ducting.
Yeah, whatever. You know what I mean.
Yeah.
But I have to get it either from the floor, because it'll be in this corner right there. We can snag it from the outside here.
Ducting absolutely everything obsessively.
So we can drag it down the outside. Yeah, well, we have to. That's how we get those hard points done. It's how do I get it up to these control panels?
Well, we assume you have cockpit. Oh wait, that is the cockpit. Yeah, on the cockpit you have to get it up.
Yep. Yep. Just has
So
to.
once you get it up on the cockpit,
and and it's obviously interconnected on the engineering section.
Yep.
You will always have these two, so this means that no matter what the module in the middle do, as long as they break it, they should be guaranteed top and bottom docking even if they're connected.
Alright, we're gonna lock pipes and cables and bolts and turn bolts off. And I don't want a beam, I want a duct. Duct. Alright, now we're to also turn. We're gonna. I use F5 to close all the windows. If anybody asks why I sometimes do that. When I get all these folders open, I just F5 out and back.
See, I sometimes just hit F5 because I'm bored or forgot what I do.
So I do it to get to
It's
the.
you go upstairs to get something, and then in the process you forget what you wanted to get.
Yeah, that's pretty much every time I leave any room. I forget where I'm going and why I went there.
Yeah.
That would be an interesting place to have a stake. Yeah, I don't. I imagine there's hotels and stuff that. Oh, I did windows, did not do machinery. That's why I can still see them. I've never been in an igloo. Like, I've screwed around and made igloos at home in the snow. I've never been in a
Like
proper
a
igloo.
proper one.
Yeah, like a proper igloo.
Proper cut out of ice blocks and stacked.
Yes, not just dig a hole in the snow kind of igloo.
It's dig a hole in the snow that you piled up because you had to clear out the driveway.
Yes, you know what I'm talking about. It snows in Switzerland.
It snows a lot. Well, it's not. Currently, it's just warm, but you know.
Dirty Human is the place in the U.S. where it snows all the time. Where he lives in Minnesota, which is one of the most northern places there is.
For some reason, when he said place that snows all the time, my mind for some reason just went to Colorado.
Colorado does snow in the mountains, but it's also if you drive an hour, you could be in a desert. Like
Yeah.
Colorado's a weird place.
Amazing.
Colorado's a weird place.
Yeah, it's like you have mountains, snow, and then you have desert.
Yep. Yeah. Dirty lives in Minnesota.
Better than the state of misery.
Yeah, there's a place near me. It's Buffalo, New York, and it is on the eastern edge of one of the Great Lakes. And just the way our weather works, the storms will blow across the length of Lake Erie, which is several hundred miles long, and it will start collecting loads and loads of moisture. And when that moist air hits the ground in Buffalo, it dumps it all.
I remember. Yeah, right. On my trip to DSA, we were at the Great Lakes,
Yep.
I think. And I forgot which one, but it was one that was like the size of Switzerland. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
that lake is just as big as the country I
Yep.
was born in.
Yep. This last winter, Buffalo, New York got 77 inches. Let me translate that because it's an absurd number. 77 inches of snow. That's it's more than 2 meters
Yeah.
in one day.
In one day. Oh,
one.
God.
I don't mean a winter. It was one storm. It dropped 77 inches. Let me translate. 195 centimeters.
Wait, isn't that like the beam length?
192. But yeah,
Yeah, almost.
190. What did I say? 7 centimeters.
195.
195 centimeters in one snow. Like, it was pushing the windows of people's houses in and pushing their garage doors in.
Yeah, big enough to cause a lot of problems.
Yeah, they had to shovel their roofs to keep the snow from collapsing
I
it.
don't think we ever had that much snow in Switzerland. Or I if we hadn't.
I think that's just crazy amounts of snow. Alright, so I should be able to just...
For useless size comparison, that's the height of your endo.
Yeah. All right, so this might come in handy. Let's see if I can use.
That's actually just a ridiculous amount of snow.
It's a ridiculous amount.
Yeah,
of
that's more than that's like more than I'm tall. That's depressing.
in one
A day.
Yeah, I'm like one snow. Like I could see getting that in a couple of weeks or over a winter, but one snow.
Yeah, that is just.
It's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous amount of snow. Can I just put that one back? Did I? Oh. What did I do?
Yeah.
My wife went to college in that city, and I drove up there once, and the most I ever saw was I drove up after I worked at a factory at the time. I made bricks. I worked in a brick factory,
Okay.
and so I worked in.
Time to talk about bricks.
Oh, that's not the right place. Yeah, I worked in a brick factory, and I made bricks for like the refractory. They were refractory brick, so
The
for
ones that you can actually put some heat into.
yeah, they were heat bricks for like that's not gonna work.
Foundries and so.
Yes, they were all different sizes, but they were for foundry crucibles and cement ovens and other sorts of ovens, limestone ovens, those sorts of things.
Yeah.
And so I got off there at 11 p.m. one night, and I drove. It was about 3.5 hours from where I lived to Buffalo. And when I got there, I parked my car. There was no snow, but I knew it was going to snow. And when I got up the next morning, there was 39 inches on the ground. And I couldn't find
What do you do? Your car's just buried at that point.
I had parked in a parking lot with 300 other cars. I had no idea which car was even mine at that point because all of the cars are just little lumps in the snow.
Oh.
It was
Yeah, and your turn signals don't do anything.
well, it was also 25 years ago when cars like my car didn't even have electric locks, let alone an alarm to turn on.
You
So
didn't have a phone either to figure out what
I
does
did
this make the code of there's my
I
car about here.
did at that point have a phone.
But not like one with a camera.
No, it was one of those Nokia bricks. How do I make this turn?
Yeah, like how did you even find your car ever again?
I dug, and I would dig and look in the window to see if it was my car. So I only looked at cars. So at that time I had a Hyundai. This was 2000 and no, it wasn't the Hyundai. I had a 1988 Oldsmobile Delta 88. So it was like a little sedan.
Yeah.
And it was like maroon colored and had a maroon interior. So you would dig to look in the window to see what color the seats were. Like it was just nightmarish. But that's what you had to do.
But I mean, brown is a good color.
It was an ugly little car, but it was my car back then. That's all I got.
No.
Come
Brown
on.
was a 70s color, yeah.
Yeah, it was like a red, like a reddy brown color. But it was 1988. That was a sweet ride back then. I think I spent I think I
probably also know the reason why. You know the reason why the why brown was the 70s colors.
I just always thought it was because it was an easy color to reproduce back then.
The other reason I heard was because people used to smoke a lot back then, and the
Didn't stain, yeah.
whatever from smoking does not show up as nearly as much on brown.
That's true.
You don't have
Even I smoked back then. Back when you could afford cigarettes, and it was cool to smoke. That's why you smoked. You smoked because it was cool. All the cool kids were doing it. Alright, I need to move that up just a tiny bit. 87 Chevy Celebrity. Was it a Z24? You know, the fancy race car version of that? That was the big deal back then. You could have a Chevy Celebrity. Oh, was it a Celebrity that was a Z24? Because there was like a 24 and a 26. Oh, yeah. Now I gotta look. Those were the ugliest cars. Everything out of the 1980s was horrific. But that was... Everybody had them. Yep, the Z24 was Chevy. It's a two-door coupe. Made it. Yep, it was. Yeah, it was a Cavalier, not a Celebrity. Because there was the Celebrity, the Cavalier, the Beretta. Yeah, that was pretty much it back then. Camaros. You could get a Camaro. Well, that'll work, because that'll transfer power from this rail up to this rail, and then it'll hop over. We'll call that a via. And then it'll pick back up on this rail. It was a shitty car. Nothing will beat my very first car was a 1985 Dodge Aries K car. They called them K cars because the body style was called a K body, but it was like if you asked a toddler to draw a car with crayons. You know how it's just like that car shape. Yeah. It's what a toddler would draw if you asked a toddler to draw a car. They took that and they made a real car out of it. All right, how in the... So here's a question. This is an older question I've had forever. You can't just butt control panels up against each other and them all be powered, right? You have to like power each panel or stack them. Am I right in that? Oh, Vega left. Man, he comes and goes. So you guys can answer me. Control panels, like these are all single layers of control panels. If I were to power this corner one, does it power all of them, or do I have to stack them? If two buttons are touching, anything on the panel has power too. But what about adjacent panels? Like this is a panel, and that's a panel, and that's a different panel, and this one. How do I get all of them? I usually just stack them. Like I don't need a panel at all. Hello, Praxis. I like the panels to snap to, but as long as the buttons are touching. But if I put a button here and I put a button over there and they're not touching, if they're on a panel, I don't know, I guess I just experiment. So what I normally do is if I stack them so they overlap, then it works. So like let's just do an experiment here. And it's because I don't know the answer to it. We're gonna unlock everything, and I need a what is that thing that I need to turn on a panel? Networking? Nope. Controls. Cable plug. So I know there's different ways to do this. This is just a... I guess I need it on the side that's behind me. It's the only one that's got. So if I put a cable plug in this corner, which I could do on the back side just as easily. Can't I? Oh, there's nothing showing. Damn it, I'll have to move some things around. Oh, I still struggle to move in here. So if I attach this to here, and I put a bolt in it, and then I cable it. So I want to find a better way to do this. So that's cabled now. What panel is this? So a button. Let's just put a button. I put a button here. Those need power though, right? So need to power something. So we're gonna test our things anyway. So I'm gonna put a generator back here for generator small. We're gonna put it there, and we're gonna auto bolt that, and then we're gonna cable it in place. And now when I F5, it should have power. In theory. So this button has power. This panel doesn't show. So that button has power. F5. But if I take another button, push 1, and I move it over here, and I bolt it, it does not have power because it's on a different panel. If I connect these two panels with another panel, I just overlay them, right? It's on top there. This is how I normally do it. See, now it's powered. Because I bridged it with this. It's apparently butting them up against each other doesn't work, but if you stack them and overlay them so they overlap, then you can power the whole panel. Right, but it doesn't even have to touch. Like, I'm pretty sure if I put it down here, that still has power because this is powered, this strip is powered, which is powering this whole thing. And then I'm able to have gaps. Oh, you don't like the look of these panels? I don't necessarily like the look of the panel, but I like the individual snapping points for buttons, and I would rather have a panel than just bolting them on a beam. But these are, I just need to make sure that I can actually power them all. Oh, we're in the wrong thing. So I do have to stack them if I want to use panels, but it's powering these connecting ones that are kind of the issue. How do I... Yeah, can I put one behind this? Like if I take this off and I copy this thing over here, there's no spot on the back for me to put it right there. But can we put it like, it doesn't quite snap. Does it just have to touch? Okay, so turn down. Just come on, rotate. Rotate. Oh, something is... What is your problem? The rotation is screwed up with that. Well, I'm certainly, I like the gap in between the buttons, because I don't like, I want clusters of buttons that have associated functions. I do not want just buttons everywhere. I would much rather gaps in between buttons than have all the buttons crammed together. So I prefer using smaller buttons, progress bars, and having gaps in between related buttons, devices, controls. Cable plug is what I'm looking for. Something was wrong with that last one. It's not rotating in the manner I thought it should rotate. Can we kind of fudge it a little bit by jamming these together? Let's cram it over as far as we can. And then we're gonna weld kind of in place there. I don't even know if that'll work, but oh, I got an idea. Can we maybe hit both of those? Ooh, smart move. All right, rotate. All right, take weld lock. You out of the way a little bit. Rotate. Can I catch both of these with one of this thing? This sort of shenanigans is the stuff I don't like, but I'm doing it anyways. Take that weld block out. What if it's flat? Can we cram it in there and catch both edges then? No, not catching both edges. Turn more. Too much, maybe? I don't know. Alright, let's put a weld block in there and see if that powers anything. I don't even know if it'll power anything. I'm gonna disconnect. I want to disconnect this one here. Maybe just take it off the front. Turn. Let's see if it's still powered. It is not. I was hoping to be able to fudge that a little bit. Okay. So it has to snap, or it's just not touching enough. Will it work if I just turn it? Let's see if I just can get it connected to the one. This is really the one I'm most concerned with. Turn the snapping back on. So it won't snap to either of those things. Alright, that's the right angle. Snapping back off. Oh, I gotta put a bolt in it? Oh, we welded it. That's how we held it in place. Let's see if that does it now. We don't have a button over here. For button 5. Nope, not enough. Oh, how am I gonna power that one? Can I put a socket through it? Does that work? Does socket tooling through those work? Oh, just lock the windows and hide them. That's part of the problem. Oop. That one. Look, I can go over a socket tool. That should power it. And in order for the socket tool not to look stupid, I should be able to just cable this, right? Instead of having that socket tool stick out there. Just do a clean cable job. And then try and weld. Small weld block to hold this in place so it just barely touches that display there. I need to uncable this stuff. Oh, I understand. Cables and pipes are locked. That's why they won't, I can't take them out. Lock the bolts. We're not playing with bolts. I don't want to delete them. Okay. So, grid display. I was hoping it would have information anyways. Let's do something different. Come on, button. There we go. Now it should bolt. Push F5. Does it have power? I can't tell now. The sun's in the way. That's all one. So it did not give it power. So even though we used the socket tool and there's a socket right there, the socket didn't power the board. I thought the socket would power the board. How do you power control panels? The only way to power a control panel is with one of those things that you bolt onto it. Is that the only way to power a socket board? Or a control board, not a socket board, is the only way to power one of those control boards? No, you can use the socket tool. See, oh yeah, so I just tried to use the socket tool. Does it have to be perfectly within a... Hold on, I'm trying to undo. So let me turn this off now. I've probably gone back far enough to fix anything I messed with. No, not quite. Hold on a second. I'm trying to go back far enough to undo a bunch of stuff that I did. As far as I can go. Dang it. Okay, so socket tool, and hello Proximine. So I tried to put, does it have to be aligned on here? The only place it would fit was like in the middle here. Now it doesn't want to do it. There. So I put one through here. Oh, damn you. So the front of the board where the buttons are, you can use the snap tool and put it in the corner. So the only place this would actually snap, based on where they were, was somewhere here in the middle. Come on. It's one spot. Now it doesn't want to do it. But I got it through the board, it just wouldn't power the actual board. Let's maybe try it from this side. Place it and then move it with the snap tool. Didn't know I could move it with the snap tool. That didn't work like I wanted it to. Alright, let's try it again. It didn't move. Get this thing out of the way. I was just trying to do it in a more clever manner instead of this thing. I was trying to be a little nicer looking than that. I thought the socket tool would. There's one tiny spot there. There. Oh, I had it and then I unclicked it. Alright, let's try the socket tool now. That doesn't actually move everything, does it? No, you have to like select the whole socket. Like that moves that. It doesn't move the... Gotta select both sides. And all the cable. How that. And that. So that did it. Oh, it like merges them together. Does that power anything? Does that work now? Now can we... Oh, it has to be... Where's the snap point on that corner? Come on, where's your snap points, bud? Come on, snap points. Oh, it was the glass. Wooden. Are there really two snap points there? Gosh, I suck moving around in here. There are two snap points there. It just doesn't seem to matter. Gotta make sure I click the front. Okay, well that worked. And then bolting these is always... If I want to bolt them so I don't see bolts, I have to bolt from the back, but don't bolts from the back just hide that. Now that's... Doesn't look like there's a pipe there, which means it's not going to work. If the cable didn't go with it, does that give us a point? Yeah, I guess it does. Let's see if it works. Yeah. So that did work. Interesting. Interesting. So if I'm just thinking. If I want to power all of these, yeah, I know I don't need the panels. I kind of like the way they look. I know it's a strange... Call those bolts, okay. If I socket tool, I don't know if... You can't just socket tool through those things. Oh, is it because it's on the back side of a plate? And the plate's hidden? Why can't I socket tool through any of these? Like, why can't I just socket tool through that? Oh, I can now. Don't ask me what I'm doing. I don't know. Why can I not socket tool there? What is in that spot that's not anywhere else? Panel? I don't understand what's the difference between this. Oh, don't take that off. Why could I put it there but not? What if we turn the plate back on? Maybe I just don't understand how socket tools work. Why? Yeah, like why can I do these two, but I couldn't do the other ones? I'm gonna end up just doubling up on the plates is probably what I'm gonna end up doing in order to get everything powered. Because right now not everything is powered because they're butting up against each other, but they're not. Oh, there was something through there. Oh yeah, I put that cable through there. So I think damage was right. There are angled corners that would connect those. So let's see what those look like. Control table angle support. I think is what. So that way. This would give me what I wanted. Except I think they need to go on the 2, 3. Oh, somebody's texting me. Who? Ooh, somebody's inviting me to go to the firing range. Maybe. Alright, let's see. If I... How do I make sure that everything is powered? So I think you have to, like... If I do this plate again... Not that one. This one? Oh, yeah, that was what I wanted. Nope. This way. Like, why isn't there a 2x2? Like, there's 3x2, 3x3, 1x3. Why do we not have a 2x2? So the gap here is where I need to span. And so that covers... That'll actually do all 4 of those. How do we get... We're gonna have to move these. Need something to span all of this stuff, so... I'll have to rebolt it all, but that's fine. Oh, no, I don't want to shift, I just want to drag those off of there, and the same for over here. In theory, that should work. So we just come across this way. That should span it. And one more. Does that span the gap? In the chair. And that spans the gap. What else do we got? Oh, that looks like it'll work. Now I just want to 2, 3. I just want them all the same height now. So you don't even notice it. Well, that, well, mostly. It's not gonna all be the same. Alright. That looks okay. Now, I should be able to... Come on. Stop. Those. And those. Now I need to bolt. No, what I did before was I came straight down through these because I kind of like the look of this little, it looks like a cap. If I put it, oh, that there, too close. Too close. There. Too close. So there, and the last one. And that seemed to bolt everything in place. Now, not all of this stuff is attached, obviously, so need to do some attaching. So, where's the bolting tool? It's just going to be bolted. That's all there is to it. I don't mind the bolts in this tray. I don't like them in the buttons if I can avoid it. Is that everything? And then we need to attach a socket somewhere. So it's connected here at the bottom. Can I move this out here for a minute? Where is the easiest place? Can we socket through any of this? I was hoping to catch this ductwork with it. But if we do it like you said, Roxy, if I then grab this, let me snap it where I want it to go. Now there's a place for that to snap, or to put that back in place over it. Bolt that guy in place. And then we take this tool and delete. And I have why won't you pick it up? Is it considered a bolt? I don't think so. Alright. I should be able to maybe... Where's the socket? Now I have to find that socket. Okay. I think in theory that is... I think in theory that's... done. Look at that. These all have info. And there's no available socket. There's no visible... There's no visible connector. And they should all be powered. Wish you could look at them. Alright. Well, that's one side. I see how it's gonna work now. Okay. I'm fairly happy with that. So, let's see. How did we do this? We took these off. That's a weld block there. Right, I shifted it, yeah. There we go. Come on, go there. Oh. Try to shift it again. Alright, there's that. There we go. And shift down. Good stuff. There we go. Just snap yourself. Oh, that's fine. Oh, it won't work because stupid snap points. Just snap down one. I just want you to go up just one. Why will you not go to your home? Alright, well. It's already past my... Oh, don't rotate like that. Shift C. Let's see if I can snap it using this tool instead. There. To there. Excellent. Now we can... put one there. And one there. There, now I need to move these buttons. Oh man, alright, pull these out. Those do not look like they're in the right spot. Nope. Alright, now we put these back. Oh, that didn't work. Damn it. Come on, up. Oh, come on. Why does this suck so bad? It wants to move over one, doesn't it? Now let's see if I can... that. And that. Okay. Better? Still doesn't look right. Yeah, it's not, still not done. Oh, there's already one there. An idiot. Alright, so... it's not the same as this side. What did I do different? One, two, three. That's all the same. Is that a 3x3? No. Oh, there's a gap there. That's fine then. Don't think you'll notice it. Then we do the same bolting over here. I need to be in front of them, see where the center is. Oh, this is so tedious. Okay, now we need to move this one out and socket tool our way. Put a socket in. Switch devices. Alright, that's an interesting place to put it. Just deleted an entire thruster. Alright, now we move this back in. Or this way. Just do it that way. Now we put some bolts in. 4. Come on, there we go. 4. Definitely through those. Okay. I don't think I bolted the board down. Those are all on the same board and it didn't get bolted down. So F5. And then we do these again, and then I'm gonna be done for the day. We'll see how. Alright, let's try that again. Alright, now everything's bolted. I can't rip those off, can I? I can! Oh, that's an easy fix though, because there's still some exposed over here. That just needs... The other thing I have to do is make an attachment point here from... Oh, there's no... So we put ductwork in. That'll. I don't have ducting on the back of that yet, but we can get that. That should do that. So now we'll have those panels. Those will be advanced displays. Those will be advanced displays. Lots of visibility. I still don't have the hard points bolted in yet. I don't have the thrusters. Do I have ductwork on the outside? I do. I don't have the thrusters piped or ducted yet. That's done. Do I have the inside done? I do not. I don't have ducting at the top. So still lots to do. File. Save. But it's that time of day again that I'm going to call it. I'm going to say thank you to everybody. It's been awful quiet today. Last little while. Thank you, Proxy, for your help. Thank you, Damage. Thank you, Dirty, Jongo. Thanks everybody for your help. I'll be back on tomorrow. Normal time, I think. So I hope to see you then. You guys have a wonderful evening and take care. Take it easy. Have a good night.